that right now Bitcoin has came down today about 3%. It's retracing back a little bit, so it's down about 2.5% right now. But you literally have less than 2% before Bitcoin puts in a lower low. If I was you, I would get ready for that. Less than 2% before you make a lower low. I just, unless something crazy happens and we get some seriously good news, I would be willing to bet that it's going to put in that lower low. Right? Somebody said, so? Yeah, this is what I want to say. Because every now and then I got to remind people. Somebody came in here and they said, so? It's so to me. Because you said so, I'm going to show you why so. I'm talking directly to you now. Here's what I'm going to do for my audience. Not the person that said so, just for my audience so they can understand. Some of y'all have looked at my portfolio and you remember what the blocks look like. You've been watching me long enough. You remember what my blocks look like. Let me show you what my blocks look like now. This is only for the real ones. Do you notice anything different here? Do you notice anything different here? What you do with your money is up to you, but I'm telling you, I do this for real, and I'm showing you something. I'm showing you something here. Who's paying attention? What you do with that information is totally up to you. Somebody on here says so. You're right. So. Now I'm going to go and show you something different. Same person that said so. I'm clicking on charts and I'm logged in. So you know, because you don't know me, I'm logged into my account. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to slide down. And you can clearly see that I can look at my pie chart, but I can also see my heat map and I can see what these altcoins are doing. And that has caused me to do something. Yeah. Some of y'all been following me long enough. What does that say? What you do with your money is up to you, but I'm telling you how I know how to do crypto, and I'm telling you that I've withdrawn, taking some profits, okay? I'm getting ready for it to come down a little bit lower. What you do with your money is up to you. I'm not a financial advisor, but there are some people that gotta wake up and go to work tomorrow, and they don't even like it. They don't even like the people they work with. They know that they're one laugh at a bad joke away from being fired and being, I'm serious, okay, financially challenged. I'm trying to show you how to actually take this new technology called the blockchain and make a significant amount of money with it by giving you free information. What you do with the information is totally up to you. It ain't gonna hurt me one bit. I'm just giving it to you for free. All right, I'm pulling up this chart, 200-week moving average. I'm pulling up this chart, my EMA ribbons chart, which is custom. I'm pulling up the Gaussian channel, and I'm pulling up both my monthlies. They're pulled up now, okay? Now check it out. Wow. Wow, Calvin. You see this 200-week moving average? You do not want to see Bitcoin fall below it. It's not good. And let me just show you the history behind that in case you don't know. This was 2018. This was a bear market. If you don't know what bear and bull markets are, read my ebook. It'll tell you what those are. But you see that we put in the high, which was the bull market high of December 2017. Bitcoin was at $19,500. After the bull market, meaning people who bought Bitcoin way down here and stuff like that, they got super rich. They bought it at $200 way over here and stuff. They was able to sell it over here and get rich. This is where your Lamborghinis and all of that stuff is at. Trust me. And after they take their profits out of the market retraces itself because the market cycle for crypto is 4 years. That's also my ebook. And you see we came crashing down into a bear market, but you never seen Bitcoin go below this red line. That is the 200-week moving average depicted here on my, see that? Moving average, 200-week. We're looking at the weekly. See it? Never fell below it. Look at this. We pump up. We actually was on our way into another bull market. Look what happened right here. What is that? Look at all the volume down here. For those of you who don't understand history, this was March of 2020. This was the COVID crash. This is when everybody in the world thought the world was going to hell in a handbasket. But you never seen Bitcoin close any candles below this red line, which is the 200-week moving average. Now we're talking about history. If you know your history, then you know how to really make a lot of money. Matter of fact, since we're talking about history, let me take time right now on September 11th to thank anybody that is in service. I'm talking about our policemen. I'm talking about our firemen. I'm talking about our people in the ambulance, our nurses, our doctors, and stuff like that. Shout out to y'all today. I'm serious. Today is September 11th. Let me acknowledge that. I appreciate what y'all do on a daily basis. Thank you very much. Now let's get back to the chart. Let's keep. We got to keep it real, man. We got to keep it real for people that put in that type of service. Y'all got to acknowledge them. Today's September 11th. Don't forget that. All right. So you never seen Bitcoin fall below this right here, yo. All right. Then we went into the bull market. This bull market high, Bitcoin goes down here, right? From way down here, you can see it when it was about $3,300. Let's call it about $3,000. Bitcoin goes all the way up to $68,000. People who was buying it down here, $2,800 and $3,000, got absolutely rich in this bull market. I was one of them. This is where your Lamborghinis is. This is where you get the idea, right? Now that people got rich, the market corrects itself. It pushes back down. But this time, we had way too much pressure on the downside. What happened, Calvin? We had a whole bunch of stuff. Again, knowing your history, we fell below the 200-week moving average. Why did we do that? Why, right? Bitcoin has never fell below the 200-week moving average. Why did it do that? Well, you got to go back and see what happened. We had FTX crashes, like we had Terra Luna depegging from where it was, $40 billion lost with that, $10 billion lost, FTX crash and all that stuff. You had Russia going to war with the Ukraine. You remember that? Russia going to war with the Ukraine. You had the CPI index was 11%, the consumer price index, 11%. I mean, it was terrible. So it created way too much pressure on the macroeconomic standpoint, which absolutely is going to put pressure on the most volatile and the newest asset class, right? See, I'm giving you the history so you can understand that investing is not just about throwing your money into crypto and thinking you're going to be rich. You got to understand macroeconomics. So when we started coming down, we was already in a bear market. That was part of the cycle, but there was a ton of pressure put on the macroeconomic environment, CPI index and all that stuff. So it put way too much pressure on the market. And the first thing that's going to happen when the market is crashing and it has pressure, people are going to take their money out of the most riskiest asset first. Unfortunately, crypto is still young. Bitcoin is only like a teenager, like 14 years old or so. So they're going to take their money out of the most riskiest asset class first, which is crypto. So that put a bunch of pressure on Bitcoin, which means it dumped past the 200-week moving average. For everybody that's new and listening to me, do you see all the fire emojis and you see all the people saying facts? The information I'm giving you is legit. Because you cannot win at this game of crypto if you don't understand what I'm telling you. And that's why I'm giving it to you this way. I don't want to just show you some charts. And even if I just show you charts, I don't want to show you all the stuff like Elliott wave theories and ABC corrections to the upside, downside, and all, talk to you about market cipher and A and market cipher B and VWAPs and stuff. You wouldn't understand that stuff. I'm explaining it to you where you can hear it and understand like, oh, damn, that's right. Russia did go to war with the Ukraine. Damn. Well, why would that affect America? Well, we still do business with a lot of people overseas. And when you go to war and you start putting pressure on wheat and oil and all of that stuff, stuff can get crazy. So that's going to, again, affect the marketplace. People are going to start looking for refuge. Where can I put my refuge? If they're going to war with Europe and the European dollar is down, right? The euro is down and the British pound is down, where are people going to seek refuge? They're going to put their money into the U.S. dollar. If the U.S. dollar is going up, it is absolutely going to wreck everything else that is not the U.S. dollar. Stress is facts. I'm keeping it real with y'all. Okay. Some people up in here, like he knows what he's talking about. He's right. He's right. Right. It's true. Let me just show y'all that real quick because a lot of people don't realize that. If you go here and you look at Bitcoin right here, right? You see all of this pushing up right here. It started in January. See that? But if you split the screen, watch me split the screen right now. Okay, up at the top is Bitcoin for sure, 100%. Down here, I'm going to make sure that this is the Dixie. This is the US dollar index. You see it? The US dollar index. Now watch me come down here and show you something. Check it. Look. The US dollar, look, I matched this up. The US dollar was crashing down. If the US dollar is weak, every other asset is going to be strong because, people are taking their money out of the US dollar and they're actually investing it into assets that's going up, right? But clearly understand this. You can see that Bitcoin was absolutely going down here. You see this? See all of this bearishness? Look at the US dollar though. The US dollar was going absolutely nuts. And you can see Bitcoin, you are not going to go. If people are putting their money in the US dollar, they're taking it out of every other risky asset. And it's not just Bitcoin, yo. If you think that that's just Bitcoin, it's not. This is Bitcoin's chart. But if I go here and I click on look, this is the British pound. Same thing, right? You see that? If I show you the British pound, it's the same thing. If I show you the euro, it's the same thing. Look at the euro. You see that? I'm trying to get this up so we can get these lined up for you. See me lining it up? Look. The US dollar is going absolutely nuts. The British pound is going down. We're still the world economic power, whether you like it or not. US is still the world economic power. If the US dollar is going up, the British pound will suffer dramatically. Okay? And you can clearly see that the US dollar going crazy here, and you can see that the euro going, come on, man. Right? Is that true? It's not. Take notes. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Take notes. All right. So anyway, we got that information. Y'all pretty much can understand that I'm not just some guy just throwing some information, trying to get y'all hype about crypto and stuff like that. I'm giving you the information that helps you out with it too. So you can have the utilitarian value behind it. Okay. All right, let's get back to what I was talking about here. Showing you the current event information. So here's your 200-week moving average. And here's why I'm telling you, you do not want to fall below it. We did so because all of that economic pressure that I was talking to y'all about, that I just showed you, giving y'all a history lesson. So we fall below this red line, which is the 200-week moving average. Look how long we stay below it. Jesus. Here's where we start falling below it. And look how long it takes before we get back above it. That's 273 days, man. These are weekly candles, which means each one of these candles represents 7 days or a week. It took 273 days for us to get back up above with confidence this red 200-week moving average. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is you do not want to see Bitcoin fall below this red line. Is that right? Look at where we are right now. Holy crap, Calvin. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but you can clearly see this with your own eyes. There's your 200-week moving average right there, right? Remember, audience, I drew this trend line right here, and I said we're now falling down in a bearish trend. And on the weekly, you will not be bullish until you break this trend line, right? So we start coming down. We came up here, tried to test it. Came up here, tried to test it. Closed the candle below it. Came up here, tried to test it. Got above it, but closed the candle below it. And look at where we are now. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. We have been below this trend line for 4 weeks, and we are clearly below this 200-week moving average. You tell me if you think that this is bullish or bearish. Let me just remind you, going down is bearish, going up is bullish. What do you think this is? Even if I were to draw a mini trend line right here, you can clearly see that's rejection, 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 rejection. This shit is super bearish. Huh? Is that true? On the macro and on the micro. And we're below the 200-week moving average. How long are we going to be below that? Here's what we have as now, because you now have the data. Remember, you got to remember your history. Well, Bitcoin fell below it, and we was down below that shit for 273 days. I don't know how long we're going to be below that 200-week moving average, but we are below it. Could we be below it for 2 months? 3 months? 6 months? I don't know. That's why you got to know people like me who understand charts, and I can come in here and I can look at this stuff on a daily and a weekly basis, go live and tell you where we are.